All eyes on the consumer this week. A slew of retailers like Abercrombie & Fitch, Costco, Kohl's, they're all set to report their quarterly results, providing insight on customer spending. This coming as consumer confidence saw a rise in May, while recession concerns still linger, according to the Conference Board. And we're looking at how to navigate the big picture with the Yahoo Finance Playbook. Here to discuss, Barclays consumer discretionary analyst Adrienne Yee, along with TD Cowen analyst Jonna Kim. Thank you both for being here. Appreciate it. Guys, I want to start big picture first, right? Because it's a confusing time when it comes to consumer, right? You got consumer confidence, they rebounding, but you have a lot of the retailers talking about a trade down effect, et cetera. When we're talking about these specialty retailers in particular, the likes of an American Eagle, an Abercrombie, a Gap, for example. Adrienne, I'll start with you. Kind of how are they sitting with the consumer? What share of consumers' wallet are they getting these days?
I would say that this is an ebbing tide. We are year to date in what I call a consumer malaise. Clearly, you're seeing a pullback. The inflationary impact is now impacting not only the low-end 50K consumer, but it's starting to have a creeper effect, right? It's coming up to the 75K and even to kind of the higher household incomes. So what I would say is you have to have a trend or a brand that rises above. This is the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of stocks that are in kind of this subsector, they trade along with kind of what I call the micro macro. And you've got to find, our job is to find the 20% that have some halo moment on them. American Eagle, this whole silhouette shift that I've talked to you about, the denim bottoms and the kind of fashion change that's going to happen in the back to school time period. I also think Gap is our other pick here. We don't cover Abercrombie, but they would fall into kind of the companies that have momentum. Old Navy is the key at Gap brand. They are the ones that are actually turning and they are taking share in that lower end household income in their segment.
And Jonna, I want to bring you in here as well. Maybe start that same high level, Jonna. Just how does the consumer look to you, Jonna? How healthy, how resilient based on your coverage universe?
The low end is definitely pressure, but we think the newness is resonating a lot with consumers. At Bath & Body, which is our top pick, they have a new Netflix partnership. They're venturing into men's and laundry. So there's a lot of new categories there. And we like the new balance that they're having in stores. So any newness is resonating quite well. And another differentiator is proprietary products, and HIMS is another concept that we really like. And that proposition is products that are affordable and differentiated from other platforms. So those are the key to a strong consumer sentiment, in our opinion.
And Jonna, I want to pick up on what you were talking about with the price point, right? That value is also an important component of this. And I wonder sort of, how does value now compare to value last year or 2 years ago? I mean, how much are consumers prioritizing that?
Yeah, I think we are seeing a lot more choiceful consumers. So they're prioritizing value while also being very selective in what they can spend. So as I mentioned, having that newness and differentiating factor, in addition to having strong value proposition, make strong sense for consumer at this stage. That's sort of how we are seeing a consumer today.
And Adrienne, and same to you, because that is a theme we hear, Adrienne. You know, if you're trying to pick on kind of trends you hear, it seems to be this consumer who is generally more cautious, more prudent, kind of focused more, Adrienne, on right now what they need rather than what they want.
I would say that's absolutely the case. Let's remember that, compound inflation over the past 5 years is up, close to 20%, about 18%. Within kind of just apparel and accessories, once they went through the purging process on the inventory, the average unit retails, right, the out-the-door pricing, inclusive of prices that they took up, right, during the 2021 time period, are also up about 15 to 20%. So people are paying significantly double-digit more than they were in 2019. And we're starting to see the ceiling, get hit on those price points. We're seeing a ton of promotions. Memorial Day was about as promotional as we've seen it. And I don't think people made plan over this past weekend, generally. So we saw a lot of extensions. And I think you're just going to kind of fight through kind of the summer time period until we get to the back to school season. And then we have reason and need to buy.
And reason and need to buy where is the question still. So Jonna, you talked about that BBWI is your preferred stock right now. But we're also getting Gap and American Eagle this week. So just quickly tell us what your stance is on those two going into the numbers.
Yeah, on American Eagle and Gap, we are market perform. We see strong momentum in both brands. Obviously, Gap is having its moment with the fashion show and others. So we are seeing a lot of momentum there, but we are just a little bit more cautious on the execution and longevity of growth at both Eagle and Gap, especially Gap Athleta really needs to turn around, in our opinion. Old Navy is an important concept, but I think there's still a little bit more focus on Gap brand at the moment. So we're waiting to see more stability in the financials. And also Eagle has done very well. We do need to see a little bit more, I think, strong signs at Aerie and Offline and American Eagle. And to our point, there is a little bit of cautious consumer dynamics playing here. So we remain cautious, but our pick is Bath and Body. We like the newness, and we think promotions are well controlled. And they have 37 million loyalty members that they can continue to leverage. So there are a lot of new exciting initiatives at Bath and Body Works, in our opinion.
And Adrienne, you gave us your thoughts on Gap. What about American Eagle as well? It's a stock that's had a nice move already, Adrienne.
So American Eagle, we think that they are absolutely in the bullseye of this kind of silhouette shift with the, 40% of their sales at American Eagle are actually in denim bottoms. And they are kind of the lone teen player from like 10 years ago when we had Abercrombie, Eagle, and Aeropostale playing in the space. Our promos kind of throughout the quarter and sort of quarter to date, they've held in there. Right. So we hate to see deeper promos, and we see them hugging the promos that they did last year. To us, that kind of says that they're on plan and they should be okay. No one's going to blow away the quarter. Right. So the best you can hope for is a little bit of upside, probably driven by SG&A for the quarter, a blessing of the Q2 guidance, maybe a little pass through to the year. And that's all we need.
Oh, here you go.
Sorry, go ahead, Adrienne. I think we're having a little sound problem with Jonna.
Oh, no, I was just saying that a little bit of a beat, an inline guide, and a pass through to the year, a little modest pass through. That's a heroic. That would be a really good print for us.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.
Adrienne, Jonna, thank you both for joining us today. Appreciate it.